Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time of day you are in. Welcome. Thank you for joining this time today. I know I said this in the past, and I'm going to say it again now. I had a name for this segment that I do on this channel, which I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of other things on this channel. But here it is, finally. It's going to be called My Opinion. Okay? Because that's what you're listening to. It's my opinion. If I ever have any facts, then I will post the facts in the description, facts that I would have where I got the facts from, all that stuff, But today we have U.S. deporting migrants, Central America. This is an update, you know what I mean? Of course, this is going to be my opinion. Let's see what happens.
President Trump made carrying out the largest mass deportation in U.S. history a cornerstone of his 2024 campaign. But there are reports he's unhappy with the pace of that effort so far.
William Brangham reports now on a new controversial tactic to carry out the administration's crackdown on illegal migration.
This plane landed in San Jose, Costa Rica last week, descending through a cloud of uncertainty. On board were 135 people deported from the U.S. on a journey back to their home countries or somewhere else. None are Costa Rican citizens.
There
are 65 children and 70 adults. They are families. Costa Rica is committed to voluntarily returning deportees to their country of origin in up to 30 days.
The group, hailing from as far away as China, Vietnam, and Ghana, were then bused to a rural holding facility paid for by the U.S. Costa Rica became the second Central American country after Panama to serve as a stopover for unauthorized migrants.
Seems to me that everything's going pretty smooth. Now, I don't know what's happening in between what they're showing, but from what I'm seeing here, from what they're showing, seems like this is going pretty smooth.
Migrants being removed from the U.S. by the Trump administration. Panama accepted almost 300 deportees who were initially held under armed guard in this Panama City hotel. Images of that group, stuck inside, unable to leave, made headlines last week.
We are providing them with all the necessary medical, food, and comfort services, and we will continue to do so until the last one has left our country, which is what was agreed with the United States government.
Okay, so I didn't understand at first what was going on, but I think it's like Passover type thing, maybe. Like they're holding them there, and then they'll disperse them to wherever they have because they have an agreement, from what I understand. Okay, because I didn't understand what was going on in the whole situation there. Like, you got him in like a hotel prison or something, but, okay. Still, again, seems like it's going pretty smooth.
More than half agreed to be returned to their home countries. 97 were sent to a facility in the Darien Gap, a treacherous point of passage at Panama's southern border with Colombia, which is used by many migrants. Susana Sabalza is a Panamanian migration lawyer representing a Taiwanese family, including a child under 5, who were sent to the Darien facility. Do you have any understanding as to what the conditions are like in that facility?
I haven't seen the conditions with my own eyes, but I've spoken to reporters who have, and they said the conditions weren't pleasant. We have to keep in mind the children, who are the future of humanity. If they're experiencing this type of trauma in a tropical refugee camp, I want to know that they are doing well and that they have good care.
If we could get them out of our country, we have other countries that would take them.
This new process, using Latin American countries as a temporary bridge for deportees, partly helps the administration because the U.S. doesn't always have diplomatic relationships with.
Okay, so the way I see it is that if they're taking these people and putting them in other places, the other countries for like Passover or whatever, to hold them until they can get to their other country. Now, this definitely costs money. Now, first off, if this is all illegal, then the people shouldn't be putting their children through this. But, I don't know what the situation is with them where they can risk that. It has to be grave. I think it would be grave to risk that. But anyway, it does cost money for them to do, to house these people. And if the country doesn't have a lot of money, then the experience isn't going to be great. Now, it's definitely not going to be no 5-star reservation or whatever, but you just got to make do with what you can.
With some of the migrants' countries of origin, So by transferring them to other nations, it transfers the diplomatic labor of repatriation to them as well.
This is a significant or even a mammoth departure from the practices of the past.
Muzaffar Chishti is a senior fellow at the Migration Policy Institute.
The president has made no secret of the fact that he believes that he won this election using immigration as a calling card. And that message has not been lost on every single agency head and cabinet member of this administration. They have decided that deportation machinery is now number one paragraph of your job description. What we have now seen is that we are enlisting nation states in that enterprise.
Earlier this month, on his first international trip, Secretary of State Marco Rubio visited Central America, including stops in both Panama and Costa Rica. Amid threats of U.S. tariffs, sanctions, and even retaking control of the Panama Canal, the countries agreed to serve as a stopover for deportees.
We do a lot of other things with Panama that go beyond just the canal. I mean, they've been a great partner on the slowing down the rate of migration on the Darien and the coming across the Darien Gap and the like. So I think it was a good visit.
People working together. That's what we need more of in this world. People working together to get a common ground thing done. That's what we need more of in all situations. Not just this, in all situations. We'll do fine. And once we could get past certain things.
The Department of Homeland Security, which is central to the administration's deportation policy, did not respond to NewsHour's request for comment. But Muzaffar Chishti says the process raises many questions, as does the administration's overall approach to migrants so far.
There may be violations of U.S. law, especially with respect to people who have expressed fear of being returned. The fact that they were not given access to counsel, the fact that they were not provided due process. The second most important consideration is that this is being done with militaristic imagery. I mean, it's not just optics, it's optics with sound. It's sort of an orchestra of military machinery.
Okay, I have one thing. I don't know if these are criminals or not, but it looks like if they're being treated like criminals. I don't know the situation of it, but it wouldn't. I'm just going to assume that they're criminals because they're in handcuffs and shackles, and you don't do that to willing people that aren't criminals. Okay, so, but I don't know. We'll see.
At work that I think is deeply un-American.
Okay, let me take that back. If you come into the country illegally, that's a crime. So, yes, you are a criminal.
In the meantime, lawyer Susana Sabalza is trying to figure out what comes next, and she has a plea.
We are asking our president of Panama and his counterpart in the United States to have a little compassion, and that they give each case the opportunity to be reviewed before sending these families to the brink of death, because at some point, this is going to be scrutinized by some international body, and that's where we're going to see the consequences.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham.
President.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. What it is. That's reporting. So, I don't know. I mean, these people, they flee their country because of political reasons, economical reasons, whatever they flee their countries for. But I'm sure that there's a lot of places in the world that you can, go to and figure things out, take different steps. I mean, again, this is just my opinion. I haven't never dealt with anything like that. I have never, came across. This is just me watching and giving my opinion. But if I were in a situation like that, I probably wouldn't know what to do. I would probably end up doing the same thing, maybe the same thing as they did, or trying to find a way that I couldn't be a criminal, to do it legally. You know what I'm saying? I would try to find a way to do it legally, the best way I could, for my family's sake, and the future of my family's sake, not to rush in head first and risk it all on a whim. But that's just me. And as far as from this video I just definitely will be keeping an update on the border situation, because yes, as they were saying, Trump did campaign on this. So we're going to see how far he takes it and, give honest opinion. And like I said earlier, if I have any type of facts, I will be putting them in the description Receipts, as they say, receipts. But thanks for joining me and listening to my opinion. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, we all have opinions. Until next time, good evening, good morning, good night. Thanks for listening to my opinion. Later.